What's going on, YouTube? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin. We're going to be looking at Bitcoin on the one-day time frame, and what I want to do is really step out. So we're going to look at the big picture of Bitcoin here, and what I want to start with was we're going to do our Fibonacci from our high to our low. So from $20,000 all the way down to $3,000, and what you can see, this area, this 0.618, when we were up above it here, we fought for quite a while in this descending triangle that we were having. We were holding it as support, but once we finally lost it, we have tried twice now. So all the way back October 28th, 2019, and then our last one, February 13th, 2020, we got up to 10,500. But we have not been able to hold that and trade up above that 0.618. And now you can see we've had several rejections at this 0.618 over here. And what I'm looking at here is a potential ascending triangle. And there's two different ways to draw this, how I've been looking at it. Or you could take it right here and you could go up, and we could almost say that we're forming a channel or some type of rising wedge. So I'm looking at this in two different ways. I'm going to keep both lines in, and I'm going to see, because typically with ascending triangles, according to the encyclopedia chart patterns and all the books that I read, 70% of the time you're going to have an upside breakout, 30% of the time you're going to have a downside breakout. And overall, what we've been dealing with here, it's been lower highs in the macro sense, and that's what we need to get out of. We have to break the lower highs in the macro sense. Secondary trend has been up, and now as we're trading in this ascending triangle or potentially rising wedge pattern or channel, this is where we need to be careful, because if we start breaking down through the bottom of this channel here, that's when I would start looking down to my green box area, and that would be where we had this inverted head and shoulders pattern before, and you had a lot of buying pressure coming in at that area, and that would be roughly between about 6,800 all the way down to around that 6,300 is what I would be looking at if we had a sharp aggressive fall out of here, because this move was pretty strong to the upside, and when you have very straight strong moves, a lot of times on the backside that can happen too. So I just want you to be aware of that. If we do not get this upside break and we have more rejection up here, it could be a tough area, because we've been rejected there, guys. Now if we take a look at it, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then back here 5, 6. I mean, that's an important area, obviously. And you know, when you look at these Fibonacci extensions, they can tell you a lot of things, because truly, if we can get up above this 0.618, I believe we have a shot to go up there to $12,000. If we can turn 10,500 into support, 12,000 could happen very fast. But you know, this is a sticky spot, because the volume that we have been having here, the heavier volume, has been to the downside. You can see it's red right there. The higher sticks, or the impulse waves, for the most part, those higher volume moves have been to the downside. So that's where this ascending triangle really needs to hold. So I would be watching this lower trend line very carefully, and if we start having daily candle closes below it, then it could be bombs away, guys. So just be careful. But, you know, we still have a 70% chance. I just want to cover the downside there. We still have a 70% chance in this ascending triangle, if we do break to the upside here, you know, to really make a strong move. And then if we can get up to around that 12,000, it opens things up to 13,300. So there's a lot of room from that 20,000 down to around that 12,000 if we can get over top of that. That's what's going to be so important. And as we look at TradingView here, just to see how we're aligning ourselves. Right now for the summary, we're looking at a 9 sell, 9 neutral, and a 10 buy. Moving averages, 8 sell, 1 neutral, 8 buy. Oscillators, 1 sell, 8 neutral, 2 buy is what we're looking at there. So you can see it's just that mixed bag. We are truly still waiting to see which way the whale is going to push this market. You know, is this just accumulation, basically? Consolidation moving sideways before we have this next explosive blast to the upside? Or is this, you know, topping out of the trend that we'd been in since we started back, you know, in March, right around that time frame when we really had that huge dump? I mean, we went all the way back down to 3,871. That's how crazy these things get. And guys, that happened in one day. So one day we went from about $8,000 all the way down to 3,800. So, you know, that's this space. And if you're in it, you need to prepare for it. And that's why we always have a plan for the upside and the downside. So what you can see here is I still have that alarm in at 8,535. And the reason I have that is because if it breaks down out of this trend line here, it's going to get aggressive fast, I promise you. That's just how these things work. Same deal. If we get a high volume move and have a daily candle close up above this ascending triangle, this top horizontal top there, we could run very hard as long as we have the volume to support it. That's what we're looking for, is the volume to support it. So next we're going to take a look at our RSI. So RSI, we are, which I like to see here, we're getting in that oversold territory. We're at 11 and 18 right now, and I'd be looking to see if we can get some type of stock cross right here as we make a nice strong move to the upside on heavy volume. That's what I'm going to be looking for. Relative strength index. You can see what I would do, guys, just to give you a little tip here. I like playing trend lines on the RSI and trend line breaks here. So I would hold that and I'd wait to see if we get a nice trend line break to the upside. And if we get that, while we're breaking out through this with heavy volume, that could be some more confirmation. And then support for the RSI, we're going to want to hold about 46. We're cruising at 50 right now. So same deal, very neutral. Everything is just so neutral. And that's where, you know, I haven't been making a ton of videos because there's not a ton to talk about right now. I just want to get you guys prepared for this because it's going to move soon. It's going to move very soon. And then MACD, you can see the histogram is in the negative there. So, you know, guys, that's what I want to bring to you today. If you get some from this, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share with your friends. I appreciate it. Just watch out for this ascending triangle. Let's watch, see if it could turn into some type of rising wedge or rising channel. And then also keep an eye on these areas. If we do start breaking hard to the downside, overhead resistance is going to be $10,000, $10,500, and then up there around that $12,000. So just continue to be patient. Let me know down below what you're doing. Appreciate you being here with me today. God bless.